Hey there and welcome back to my channel. My name's Georgina, I'm the Honest Vocal Coach. I teach singing all day every day when I'm not making videos like this one, and if you want to work with me you can. I offer critique on your personal voice. No one else has to see it, it's just for you. I'll let you know what's good, what's bad and how you can fix it. You can find that on my website honestvocalcoach.co.uk and the link is below. Okay, so it's that time between Christmas and New Year where no one really knows what to do with themselves. So I'm kind of in that sort of thing. At the moment for me, I'm writing my resolutions for next year and I'll probably do a video all about it to give you an idea of what I've got planned for 2022. In the meantime, I've decided to catch up with some vocal battles and some other compilation videos that you guys have requested. And if you do want to request a video, you can do. There's a link down below and it goes to a little form where you fill in a few details, including the video you want me to react to, and then when I can, I will react to it. So in today's video, I'm going to be reacting to a video which is previously on YouTube, so I didn't pick the clips. It's 20 features of an F-sharp note, and it's a whole bunch of awesome singers, and there's things like rasp, growl, belt, other things in there, so you can get a little bit more of an idea of what all the terminology is. Plus, we get to see some awesome singers. Let's dive in. Oh my goodness, it's not just the husk that's awesome there, it's the agility coming back down again with an intentional break. That is a lot of skill all wrapped up in one clip. Now the husk itself is actually caused by a little bit of mucus in the throat and also the false vocal folds above the actual vocal folds themselves. Often it can be created by the flesh above that, even above that still, so it doesn't affect the vocal folds themselves, so it's not causing any harm if done correctly. Okay, in this case with Perry, the rasp is caused by the fact the vocal folds are super tight. So you'll notice as she does the run up to the big note, she's already in a twang placement. It's got a nice kind of tightness to it. So as she goes for the note, she's able to engage a really nice kind of raspy sound to it. Ah, good old growl from Jessie J there. Now, a growl is the flesh above the vocal folds themselves, and it does include the false vocal folds, depending on how well it is done. Now, this one says that she screams. To me, it's just a belt. I didn't feel that it was a scream. It was a mixed belt for me. That was very good. You notice how it was really soft and then she built that volume through and increased the vibrato as well. Very well done. Oh, Mariah, we love you, we love you. So there was a lot going on there. Essentially, it was a lot of twang, making sure that the vocal folds were balanced and nothing was being forced. But the agility was just out of this world as she was going up and down her vocal register. It was just brilliant. Tori Kelly is so incredible. Now that one is for me a high belt. It's got a little bit of extra twang in it, which gives it that particular sound. Plus, you'll notice that she flicks up from the high note, so it gives it a little bit of an inflection as well. Okay, so as you will have guessed, sustain basically means as long as you can sing the note for, but it doesn't just mean being able to hold the note. It makes, you've got to be able to sustain it, as in it's got to be controlled and consistent. It's not got to get quieter, it needs to be a nice consistent volume. Yeah, now this is what I would call pushed. It's still a belt, but what she's doing is she's pushing into it a little bit to create a little bit of distortion. Not enough to create a rasp or a sort of dry scream or anything like that. It's just enough to give it an edge. That was so good. So mix, think of mix as being two colours. Let's say chest voice and head voice. And mix is how we blend from one to the other. It's not a register on its own, it's actually how we blend the two. So let's say one colour and another colour to create a different colour in the middle. Anyway, so in this case, she's using more head voice than chest voice. So she's probably about, I'd say 70% head tone, but with a touch of the chest voice in there, which creates that heady mixed tone. Okay, in this case, this is what you would call strain, or a kind of a cry sound. What she's doing is she's really pushing to a point where the emotion comes through. So it's got that kind of dramatic, you feel the drama within it. It's not just about technique, it's about putting the emotional quality in it as well. Je suis She's so impressive. She has this massive resonant sound. She enables the sound to really move around her mouth using all the resonant spaces. Fabulous. Okay, yes, high larynx. Now, it's not ideal to belt with a high larynx. Because it can create tension if you don't use enough twang. Now, as we know, Ariana is an absolute expert at mix. She can mix really high. So this is essentially a nice mix, but she is hiring the larynx a little bit to create that extra piercing kind of sound. Yeah, this is very throaty. It's along the lines of a growl because it's further back and it does feel quite pushy. So you've got to be careful when you do a throaty sound like this because it does push up and it can hurt if not done properly, just like a growl. Yep, straight note. So the difference from this one and the sustained note is the sustained note has a bit of vibrato, but it stays pretty much the same volume. Now in this one, what she's doing there is she's not allowing any vibrato to happen. So it's a totally straight note. Not she's keeping it really well controlled. That was one heck of a note, wasn't it? Goodness me. Now you can actually see the shaking of her head. There's that much vibrato there. But it's not a vibrato that's annoying, that makes you want to say, you know, too much. It's just about right. Okay, so falsetto, for those of you that want to know. Falsetto basically means that the vocal folds are pretty much as open as they can be. There is a lot of airflow coming through. It's different to head voice in that head voice has some form of connection, so there's a deeper quality to it. But as you get into falsetto, it's very breathy. The vocal folds are further apart, as opposed to which is more of a mixed tone. Gorgeous, total head voice, very nicely resonant. She didn't engage any chest at all there. It was completely based in the head sound itself, the head register. I love Mitch, he's so good. If you don't know who Mitch is, check out Pentatonics. Mitch has the most incredible vocal. In that last one, he was using head voice, but he was placing it a little bit there and slightly splatty. So the square sort of placement there added to a slight nasal sort of quality to it, giving it that very piercing sound. But you do have to be careful when you've got a quality like that, because it can become a little bit too nasal if you don't place it in the right position. Well, that was fascinating. That was really good. There was actually a couple there that I was like, oh, I wouldn't have called it that, but okay, that's cool. And I think that comes down to your actual vocal pedagogy itself, because American will use certain terminology for things where British will use a different terminology. For example, in the UK, we tend to call it bridging from chest to head voice, whereas in America, it's classed as the passaggio, that bridge between chest and head voice. So it tends to be a slight difference in terminology depending on where you are in the world. But I found this video really, really fascinating. Who was your favourite? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, loves.